Hey you guys, welcome back. I'm Lala's Grand. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, yay, hello, join the Lala's Grand fam. Please subscribe. If you are a returning subscriber, yay, I have a returning subscriber. Thank you so much for watching my content. I know I'm new to YouTube, but I'm not new to makeup, and I hope you do enjoy my videos. And I hope you like this video, so please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. All right, so today we're gonna be reviewing the new Coloured Raine Juicy Boost collection. Coloured Raine is a Black-owned brand, and I wanted to support her. Now, in this collection, she even released a tumbler, an umbrella. If you wanna buy that plus the palette, it retails for $125. I just bought the palette. I do like the fact that she went ahead and gave us two choices. So you can either get the palette as like, it's almost like a mini palette. It's cut in half, and then the palette would be front and back, or you can buy the flat lay palette. I went ahead and got this only because anytime I look at my shadows, I prefer to just go ahead and look at it all at once. I do like that she released the other palette, because if you want to travel with just one palette, I think that's so travel friendly. This palette has 18 shadows and it does retail for $52. And it's a bright colored palette. And I think that, you know, everything with COVID and whatnot pushed it back, because maybe she planned on releasing this palette a little bit earlier. Typically, I like to wear colors like this in the summer, these brighter colors. I'm so excited. So we're gonna go ahead, play around with this palette. I don't know what colored look I want to do. I've been swatching it, that's why the palette looks like this. I think I might want to go ahead and do a look that has blues today, only because the last look we did on my channel was pinks. I don't know where we're gonna go with this. So I went ahead and did my eyebrows, but we're not gonna pay attention to what's going on this lower part of the face. This pimple I got on my face, girl. It's because I have to wear the N95 masks for work and just wear the other masks, face shield, for hours at a time. We're just not gonna pay attention to this at all, but let's zoom in. We are all zoomed in so we can see what this eyeshadow look is going to be. I think I'm gonna go ahead and start with the shade called Energy Boost. And Energy Boost right here is this pretty light blue shade. I did get a lot of kickback from this shade, but fallout does not bother me, and I'm doing my eyes first, so I'm really not too concerned. I'm using my MAC 224 brush. I'm not gonna go right into blending. I just wanna first pack the shadow on. With this shade Energy Boost, I just wanted to keep it focused right here in this area. I didn't take it to the outer portion of my crease yet. I wanna save that for another color. We will see. I'm thinking I might use Kale Yeah for out there. I'm not sure, but so far I will say I am having some fallout, but to me it doesn't bother me, again, because I'm doing eyes first, but it's nothing that is too hard for me to handle. So now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and blend out this shadow, but when you're working with bright colors, remember that it's always best to first pack them on and then go ahead and blend out the outer edges after you've already packed on that shadow. So I'm going to take my MAC 217 brush and I'm just going to go on the outer edges just to blend that out. I don't like it when my shadow goes way too high into my brow. I don't like that look. I like for it to be more diffused and look more natural. I blended out the edges of Energy Boost. Now I want to go ahead and take Kale Yeah, and I just want to pack that on the outer portion, and I am gonna, ooh, there's so much kickback in this pan. Like if you just see, like if I just lightly tap my, there is a lot of kickback in this pan, so be careful. I'm just gonna put that on the outer edges. Kale Yeah is such a beautiful dark green blue shade. I think it's so pretty. And I'm just taking my MAC 224 brush and I'm packing this ever so slightly just on the outside. Again, first I want to pack and then I'm gonna go in and blend. I'm taking my MAC 217 brush just to blend in these edges. All right, so I am pretty impressed so far. Now this is where things can tend to get muddy when you want to blend in two bright colors together. Well, Kale Yeah isn't a bright color, but it can get muddy since Energy Boost is a bright color. And it's not, I'm not having any type of muddiness at all. Like, these are good quality eyeshadows. I'm impressed so far. I'm having absolutely no issues blending these colors out, and I'm just getting too excited. So, but we're gonna keep moving though. Like, this is a lot of fun. I'm really liking this Juicy palette. Juicy Boost palette even more than I thought I would. But anyways, right now I want to take the shade Mint Leaves. That is the light green shade right here. And with this shade called Mint Leaves, I just want to put that in between the blue, the powder, the cake bag. I just want to put that in between the blue and that dark green just to add a bit more of a transition. And I'm going to take my MAC 224 brush and just start between Energy Boost and Mint Green, since those are the lighter shades, and first blend those two in together. Wow, and I'm still having no issues even though I'm laying these on top. So I added that green shade on both eyes. I love the gradient that I'm getting in between. Now, don't worry, this look is not done yet. I want this look to be, I do love the bright colors, but what I want to do is I want to go ahead and add some shimmer. I want to try this formula. It just looks almost like it's a glitter formula. I want to use the shade Lemon Wheatgrass. You guys, just look at this shade. Lemon Wheatgrass. It's so pretty. Like, look, it just goes on and on. I'm gonna cut my crease. I haven't done this in so long. I've been doing a lot more blended looks lately, but I think it's time to cut the crease. This formula almost appears wet, and it just gives a really nice reflective look. Like, it almost looks like I'm using a glitter shadow to achieve this, but it's not glitter. Cutting my crease with this shadow Lemon Wheatgrass was such a gorgeous idea. Like, I am loving the way it's looking so far. Now, I know I'm still looking crazy because I don't have the rest of my face done, but it's okay. You're gonna see the finished look and it's gonna look bomb, okay? All right, so I did my base, but I wanna put some color on my lower lash line. So I'm trying to figure out what color, there's so many colors in this palette. I'm not gonna be able to use all the colors in this one look. But I think I want to go back and use that green a bit called Mint Leaves. I'm using my Morphe M562 brush and I'm going into that shade called Mint Leaves. I'm dusting off the excess because I do not want to mess up this beautiful base that I did. And I'm just going to blend that on my lower lash line. So I used a packer brush just to stamp that shade on. And now I'm taking my Morphe M562 brush, and again, this is the shade Mint Leaves. I want to open up my lower lash line a little bit more. So what I want to do is I want to take a lighter color just right in the inner portion of my lower lash line. And I'm going to take that light green shade called Cucumber Avocado. And I'm just putting that just on the innermost portion of my lower lash line. And then for the very edge, I'm gonna go back into Kale, yeah. And I'm just gonna put that in my outer V just to help connect my top lash line so everything blends in nicely. I'm gonna go ahead and do liner, lashes, and do my lips, and I'll be back. All right, you guys, so I am back. I went ahead and I did my lips. Now for my lips, I used Juvia's Place lipstick, and this is In Vogue. And if you haven't seen my first video yet that I posted on YouTube, it was about the Juvia's Place lipstick collection, the new lip collection. Please go ahead and watch that video. I swatched all the lipsticks, and today I chose to use In Vogue, and I think it's just pretty. It's something about like this peachy lipstick and like this blue green toned eye with the gold reflex. It looks beautiful. Now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I want to do my blush. And for blush, I want to use one of the eyeshadows as blush. I know I did this in one of my in the last video I posted about Pat McGrath, and I want to try something out. I don't know, something about like multi-use makeup, it just excites me. So these pinks right here, I want to use this. It's called Pink Grapefruit and Cranberry Vanilla. I might even want to tap into the orange a little bit, called Turmeric Shot. I started to do it on this side just a little bit, but then I was like, no, I want to get this on camera so you guys can see that it's okay for you to use products in different ways. This is my Real Techniques brush. I love this powder brush for blush and bronzer application. So I'm just going back and forth between Pink Grapefruit and Cranberry Vanilla and lightly dusting off my brush. I'm starting high up and just dusting out on my cheeks. Tell me you can't use this as blush. Look at this. This looks good. I might even want to use the orange just a bit. Turmeric Shot. You might think I'm crazy, but I know where I'm going with this. The orange balances nice with my blue turquoise eye and my peach lip. That's why I want to use the orange. And I just want to see what that looks like. That almost makes it a light coral shade. That's actually really pretty. So I'm gonna do the same thing on my other cheek. I'm starting to get carried away. I can't do this. I can't get carried away like I did last time. Let me just chill. And now I'm using that orange turmeric shot. One day I can't wait to blend this shade turmeric shot all over my lid. Oh, that's pretty. I literally used my palette as blush. These shades looked so beautiful on the cheeks. Next, I need to do highlighter, and the highlighter I want to use is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It came in a 3-pack. This shade right here is called So Hollywood, and it's a loose highlighter. And with loose highlighters, I just like to tap it. Oh, that's a lot. I just like to tap it in the cap because they pack a punch. I know this one does for sure. And you only need a little bit. So I'm taking my highlighter brush from Sonia Kashuk. By the way, you guys, I have found like the perfect brush set. I cannot wait to try her brushes, more of her brushes. This right here, I bought this in a collection. It's from Sonia Kashuk. She sells it at Target. I got it from Target and it really wasn't expensive. This powder brush is so luxurious. I'm surprised that I've got this quality for this price. It almost reminds me of one of my favorite brushes from Sephora, which is the number 50 brush. It's so beautiful and luxurious. I really like this to apply powder underneath my eye, just to set my eye. I like this for bronzer. I like it to set the rest of my face. I wouldn't even mind using it as blush. Like, it's such a multi-use brush. It's really pretty. And then this right here, this brush is a concealer brush. I love the fact that, and I'm more of a beauty blender person. I love to use some type of like sponge to blend out my concealer, but just really getting under my eye and just patting that around or blending out the top portion of my concealer on my eye. This is a good brush for. Their highlighter brush I'm about to use now, but this brush right here, listen, if you only get these two, I know they're sold separately, but it's just better to buy it in the pack. If you only get these two brushes, this right here is my foundation. This is my new best foundation brush. It's what? If you talk about how this buffs in foundation, until you use this, like, I don't think you'll understand the type of experience you're getting. I don't see anybody talking about these brushes, but I'm going to purchase more of these brushes, and I might even do a special video about these brushes. That's how amazing they are. So I'm gonna use the highlighting brush from Sonia Kashuk. So amazing. And I'm just gonna tap off some of the excess highlighter. And right at those high points, I'm just gonna apply the highlighter. I'm also gonna go a little bit above my brow. I'm just gonna take my finger, go on the very tip of my nose, and then down my nose bridge. And I like to squeeze the brush just to flatten it out, and I go right there down my nose bridge. I don't want this and this part to connect. I like it to have that separation, because it'll look weird if it connects. Please don't do that. And my nose highlight is just a little bit too much, but that's easy. I'm just gonna take my finger just to diffuse that out. And voila, you guys, this, I don't know if I want to put a gloss. I always debate whether I want to put a gloss or not, but I just love the way it looks. This looks so good. For my final thoughts on this palette, I thought that this palette was gorgeous. I mean, this dark green blue shade, Kale, yeah, it blended out like a dream, and it blended into other shades seamlessly. And I really wanted to make sure that I use this because sometimes those dark shades like that can be patchy once they blend into other colors, but this palette blends really nice. Please don't be intimidated by this palette. I'm just going to show you a little trick just in case you're nervous about, you know, if you're not sure what colors to use. They section this palette out very smart. You can just play with some of these blues, blend this out, and add some shimmer. Same thing with the pinks and even the oranges. If you want a more natural look, you can use this orange with this brown, and you can use a little bit of this like golden shimmer here. Do not be intimidated by this palette. It's completely fine. But it's nice how they organize and section the palette. Blendability is great. I love the color payoff that I got. The pigment was there. No issues with it. So have you guys picked this palette up? And if you haven't picked it up, do I recommend this palette? Yes, I definitely do. If you don't have a colorful palette, yes, I know it is end of summer. It's basically fall now, but listen, who says you can't can wear color when you want to, even if it's just a little bit, but I can come up with some fall looks with this bottom row. And listen, this palette is gorgeous. So I hope you guys enjoyed this palette with me. I did. If you don't have it, yes, I do recommend for you to please go pick it up. I want my channel to be bigger than makeup. Makeup I love and I enjoy, but that's just a part of me. My main focus is my purpose in life, where God is leading me. And you know, the passing of Chadwick Boseman hit me really hard. You know, life is short. And it just made me think about just purpose in general. My sister goes to Howard and she sent me the commencement speech that he did, and I want to go ahead and play it here, and I just want to talk about it a little bit. I don't know if everyone has seen it, but even if you have, I feel like it's one of those things where you can watch again and take something different from it each time. So I'm going to go ahead and play that now.
Finally, I thought of Ali in the middle of the yard, in his elder years, drawing from his victories and his losses. At that moment, I realized something new about the greatness of Ali and how he carried his crown. I realized that he was transferring something to me on that day. He was transferring the spirit of the fighter in me. He was transferring the spirit of the fighter to me. He was transferring the spirit of the fighter to me. Sometimes you need to feel the pain and sting of defeat to activate the real passion and purpose that God predestined inside of you. God says in Jeremiah, I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Graduating class, hear me well on this day. When you have reached the hilltop and you are deciding on next jobs, next steps, careers, further education, you would rather find purpose than a job or a career. Purpose crosses disciplines. Purpose is an essential element of you. It is the reason you are on the planet at this particular time in history. Your very existence is wrapped up in the things you are here to fulfill. Whatever you choose for a career path, remember the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose. When I dare to challenge the system that would relegate us to victims and stereotypes with no clear historical backgrounds, no hopes or talents, when I questioned that method of portrayal, a different path opened up for me. The path to my destiny. When God has something for you, it doesn't matter who stands against it. God will move someone that's holding you back away from a door and put someone there who will open it for you. If it's meant for you, I don't know what your future is, but if you're willing to take the harder way, the more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it. Now, this is your time. The light of new realization shines on you today. Howard's legacy is not wrapped up in the money that you will make, but the challenges that you choose to confront. As you commit to your past, press on with pride and press on with purpose. God bless you. I love you, Howard. Howard forever.
You guys, I just think that it's so powerful when you hear him talk about purpose. Like, purpose is so important. I feel like now is a time for everyone to reevaluate their purpose. You know, time is short. People are going left and right. Like, with the pandemic going on and so much going on at this time, if you haven't figured out your purpose, I feel like now is the time to do so. And if you know your purpose, now is the time to live in your purpose and actively pursue it. I think it's so admirable that he knew what his purpose was and he was directed by God. He's a man of faith. He was directed by God and he knew that he couldn't settle for less. And he did what was right. Even when he had his first role that he talked about, making six figures, when he went ahead and spoke up to the directors about it, or to the producers about, well, where's my mother, or where's my father, whatever happened, and there was that stigmatism of, oh, well, of course your mom's on heroin. And something within him didn't settle right about that, but he spoke up because he knew that it was important for him to do so at that time. And I feel like it's such a monumental time in his life, as he said, because if he didn't do that, could you think about the roles that he may have missed out on? They turned him away after he spoke up. It's a really good lesson to know that regardless of whatever your purpose is, make sure you are standing up for what is right. Make sure you stand up for what you believe in. Don't ever settle. No matter who that rubs the wrong way, you still be you. You still go out there and do what is right, no matter what anybody has to say about it. Because at the end of the day, are you serving that person? Are you living for that person? No, that person isn't in charge of putting food on your table. That person isn't in charge of you as a human being. That person isn't always going to be there, regardless of who that person is. It's important for us to live out our purposes and stand up for what is right. I think he said some amazing things. He said sometimes you need to get knocked down before you can really figure out what your fight is and how you can fight it. If there is something that has been knocking you down, take the time now to figure out what is it that you're really fighting. And once you figure that out, figure out how you can better fight that issue, whatever that may be in life. That's applicable to anything in life. He also said purpose crosses disciplines. It is an essential element of you. It is the reason you are here at this particular time in history. I know for me, even just stepping out on this platform and doing this, it's something that God has told me to do years ago. I've always been so nervous about doing it, but I'm here doing it now because I want to be obedient. I know that with what he has for me, with where he has me going, this is wrapped in it. I don't know exactly what this will lead to down the line, but I know it's important for me to be obedient, so whoever I do meet down the line, I'll be able to help those people. And remember that there's people who you'll be able to help just by being obedient of what you're supposed to do and living your purpose. When he recorded all those movies, when he even gave the speech at Howard, he was also ministering to himself, because during this time he did have his diagnosis of colon cancer that he was fighting. He didn't lose the battle. He did not lose the battle. Please don't be fooled in thinking that just your time here on earth, that's it. It's not. There's more. This is just us passing through. But how you live your life here is so important. And I encourage everyone to live out your purpose. Stand up for what is right. Do what is right. We're also supposed to enjoy what it is we're supposed to be doing and who we're meant to be. So I encourage all of you to go ahead, do just that. Go forth and live out your purpose. And always stay true. Like he said, purpose crosses discipline. So no matter what area in your life you go, your purpose should be crossing each and every single area. He also quoted my favorite Bible verse, which is Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in the future. And every time in my life when I'm feeling down or when I'm going through things, or even when things are great, I always bring that Bible verse back to mind, because it grounds me and it lets me know that no matter what I see here, no matter what I'm dealing with, God does have me. And he has plans of a great future for me. And I don't have to worry. I mean, doesn't mean that what I'm going through doesn't suck or it doesn't hurt or isn't terrible at the time. But I find comfort in knowing that it's just temporary and he does have me. And I hope that you find comfort in that as well too. I just find it so interesting that he's out there talking to all these people, and he never knew one day how his words would inspire and resonate with so many people across the globe. So now is the time for us to find our purpose and to do what we can do. Now is the time. Help people, be there for one another, be caring, be loving, and be real, be true to who you are. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. That's my little spiel. But again, I don't want this channel to just be about makeup. I love makeup, but there's just so much more to life, and I don't want to do a disservice by holding back on who I am or talking about things like this. So thanks again for watching. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, hit that bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload a new video, and please hit this thumbs up button if you do like this. Thanks, bye.